2011, a couple of mercenaries escaped the back streets of Junction, still wanted by the masses. If you can find them, maybe you can call the late team, the voices of Reading.
Injustice. Everyone is included. No in-feud in a common song that we're in tune with. A common bond that we've been glued with. An infusion of humans bringing gifts that they're imbued with. Injustice. Without freedom. They're in-house kicking out people for outspeaking. A foul demon allowing grieving without reason. Justice means imbalance. Just as injustice means imbalance. Just as the justice amongst us champions the chart for the tongueless, trampling darkness and crushing the unjust judges' judgments to thin fragments.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Apologies for the delayed advertising start. Circumstances beyond our controls. Apologies there. You're listening to The Late Show. It's that time of the night again. We are on 95.6 FM inshallah for the next, well, I'll say a couple of hours. It's a good one today. It's titled Justice / Injustice. We got a few cases here highlighted, well, which have been going throughout a couple of decades in the UK. My own fond personal one is the Justice for the 96, the Liverpool Hillsborough disaster. I'll throw it over to Brother Julian. He's got his own favourites, and just touch on what we got planned for tonight, please, Julian.
How you doing, Soggy?
I'm all good, bro.
Yeah, good to see you again. Last week was the anniversary, the Hillsborough disaster. 25 years waiting for justice. 96 people, football fans, crushed to death at a football match where the crowd was mismanaged, where police mistakes led to the deaths of 96 people, and it was covered up. So that was a poignant anniversary. Yesterday was 21 years since Stephen Lawrence was murdered. Another anniversary, another long wait for justice. And this week we lost Robin Carter, the Hurricane, who was an American middleweight who was wrongly convicted of murder and spent 20 years in prison waiting for justice. And he was eventually freed. So those are my top three. There are others as well that we're going to throw into the mix. Anything that you want to mention, anything the listeners want to mention, I need your phone calls on 0118 966 0382. Soggy, did I get that correct?
100%, bro. Perfect. Couldn't have done it better myself.
Thank you very much.
And anyone listening out there, if you feel that you've been part of injustice in your lifetime, we'd like to hear your stories. It'd be absolutely great.
Soldier.
If you want to text in, if
you're listening,
I know you're a busy man.
Are we barking up the wrong tree now?
Yeah, mate, yeah. Yep, and so if you feel that you're being mistreated or feel that there's an injustice against yourself, we'd like to hear it. So, yeah.
Once again, 0118 966 0382. That is the number to get through to the studio. Live, unscreened, entirely at random. We won't ask you what you want to say. We'll just put you live to air, because that would only be just. And text the studio 07909 567 527. Once again, we need your texts on 07909 567 527. Right, where shall we start? Because this week I've done my research for the first time in a new experiment. I asked people to submit to me their viewpoints, their ideas, their thoughts on justice and injustice. and it's a mixed bag. If you don't like what we play, well, you should have messaged me with something better. I'll be honest. I haven't edited this too much. If people wanted it on air, I've included it with the people's voice. Is that right, Soggy?
100%, bro.
So
can't argue with it there.
I will say that tonight is it's a serious subject, but we will mix the light-hearted injustices along with the more serious stuff. I mean, when you're young and your brother gets something you don't get, that feels like the worst injustice in the world. Years later, it's not so bad. All right, shall we hear some of my research? Let's hear the first one, and then we can get your views on it, Sogs. Here we go. This week I asked people for their views on justice and injustice. This is what I got.
My name is Powell. I've been in the country 5 years. I'm very good plumber. But you know, these bloody Romanians, they come here and they take all our job. It's no good for Polish people.
Okay, immigration issue there. I think that was Powell. Is that an injustice?
Put me on the spot there.
Well,
this
is a reoccurring theme. The immigration issue.
It's a big murky circle world out there. It comes down to people that are employing such people. If you want to employ a cowboy, you're going to get a cowboy job done. My advice to people out there is, cheap isn't necessarily good. You might pay £20 less for a job, but it might be causing yourself £200 more damage in the long term. So,
okay, but a Polish guy complaining about Romanians, is there any?
Yeah, back in the days, the English were complaining about the Pakistanis, and the Pakistanis were complaining about the Polish. Now the Polish are complaining about the Romanians.
So
it's just
who are the Romanians going to be complaining about?
Whoever the borders open to next, isn't it?
The
really?
Bulgarians, probably.
Yeah, but it's just one of them things, unfortunately.
But it's funny how different groups, they've been here a few years and they start to look down upon the next group.
Because they reckon they're taking their jobs away.
Yeah, I mean, I bought the Big Issue a few weeks ago, charitable guy, and I said to the guy, where are you from? And he goes, I'm Bulgarian. So I dropped a little phrase in Bulgarian,
like you do,
like as you do, and he looked at me blankly, and he goes, "Okay, I'm Romanian." I was like, is being Bulgarian any better than being Romanian or Polish or Irish or Pakistani or any of that lot? Doesn't make a difference. But in fact, open borders is a justice or an injustice that we'll come back to. But let's hear the next clip then. And if you want to react to any of the clips that you're hearing on the show, give us a call. 0118 966 0382. You'll get through live to the studio. Alright, next one.
Trust, in my opinion. And there are certain doors that should be kept closed and locked, that those who might want to appropriate something illegally can't do that. So I'm wondering, how do you tell people, or how do you create an environment where everybody would lock the doors that need to be locked? It's like somebody could walk into your own home, or then to a storage facility where there are important things, bikes, etc. And you can't really blame anybody if something is stolen. So how do you create an environment that supports that certain doors are kept locked?
certain doors need to be kept locked. Subby, do you think that guy's in the closet, or what's he talking about?
That went way over my head. What doors are you talking? Prison doors?
Well, it's left up to your imagination. I think he was talking about cultivating a culture of trust when you live within a community, and you know, how can you tell everyone to lock the door if you all live in the same area without saying, well, look, it's like I don't trust you. But if you leave the door open, everyone's, you know, you can't leave the door unlocked.
Back in the days, you could leave.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you seen what's the Michael Moore film when he goes to Canada, and I think he's bowling for Columbine, and he's showing how in America everyone is super like security conscious, doors bolted shut and gun under the bed, and he goes to Canada and he's opening people's front door, walking in, he's like, hello, just thought I'd come in, because in Canada people, they don't lock their door. That's it. They trust each other. Do you think we've lost that sense of trust? Is there such a thing as a community anymore? Bit off topic this one, but he sent it to me, so why not? Have we lost that sense of trust?
A long time ago, to be honest with you.
Sorry, I would leave my door unlocked for you.
That's fine, but before I get there, you've probably been raided about 10 times.
Well, there you go. Trust is an issue.
Long gone.
All right.
My opinion.
Well, we're ready for the phone calls. Once again, phone number 01189 660 Give me a call, you'll get straight through to air, or text the studio on 07909 567 527. That's 07909 567 527. Get it off your chest. I know Soldier wants to talk about what happened. Give us a call, Andre. You don't know where it could lead. Sorry, I'll stop talking about dogs. And shall we hear another?
He got acquitted. He got acquitted on that. So
he did get acquitted on that, so that's justice done.
That was justice done after. I think it was second or third trial.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Andre, give us a shout. You know who you are and where we are.
Friend of the show. Here we go.
What's up, guys? Azad here. I was just thinking about the word injustice, right? Because the opposite of injustice isn't like a positive justice, like pro-justice. It's just justice. So it seems to me that injustice is just the lack of justice. So maybe the way to go forward is to look around the world at the places where there is justice and think of how we can apply that to places where there is no justice. It's like flicking the light switch on. When the light comes on, the darkness just goes. That's the way I see it.
So, justice or injustice is just the lack of justice.
That was a great rap, bro. Azad, you're tremendous. That was a great rap.
Azad, give us a call if you're listening.
Was that not a rap, or was it just talking?
Yeah, well, it just kind of flowed.
I thought is he a rapper?
Azad, if you're a rapper, give us a call. Let us know.
I don't mean rapping up Christmas presents. No. That I mean rapper by, you know, lyrical rapper.
I think he's the guy that collected Polaroids pictures as a child. Okay. If that makes sense. Yeah. But no, I think the point he was making with justice is just the lack of, or injustice is the lack of injustice, just as darkness is the lack of light. How do you compare that to a case like Stephen Lawrence? Let's introduce one of our topics, because this was the anniversary yesterday, 21 years.
You want to give a background to people that don't know nothing about Stephen Lawrence?
Well,
it has been a few years.
Okay, well, if you don't know, where have you been? But I understand it, yeah. It is going back a little bit. Yeah, Tina, he was from Eltham in southeast London, and he was murdered in a racist attack while waiting for a bus. And
this wasn't in the 50s, so this is just the early 90s,
1993,
where you would have thought that, you know, these things, race things, were a thing of the past, but obviously not. Sorry, Julian, correct.
Yeah, well, he was murdered in a racist attack, and after the initial investigation, 5 suspects were arrested but not convicted, and it was suggested that the murder was racially motivated, and the handling of the case by the police and Crown Prosecution Service was affected by issues of race. Basically, surprise, surprise, the police were racist, and by their own admission were institutionally racist.
This is the Met Police.
This is the Met Police, but my goodness, I think it was rife within the whole police force.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think it ties in with the. I mean, look, I'm not generalising about any group of people, whether it's police officers or any section of society, but when a police force, by its own admission, admits that it has an endemic problem of racism, then what other kind of problems might be brewing under the surface as well? And I think it's that attitude of we are untouchable, we can do no wrong, that led to the miscarriage of justice in the Hillsborough disaster, which was 4 years earlier. But again, it's the same process of police covering their back, police changing witness statements, anything that could have led to culpability on the part of the police was brushed under the rug, and we know this, and the families of the 96 know that. I think that's the injustice, is that the truth was covered up, and as Ad said, well, it's just injustice is the lack of justice. Is the truth here? I mean, murdering someone is one thing, and that's awful, and you wouldn't wish that on anyone. But the real, same with dying in a footballing disaster, that's horrendous. But the miscarriage of justice is how the case has been handled. Am I?
I mean, I'm a massive Liverpool fan myself, and I've been following this obviously from the moment it happened. And
I mean, you must have watched it on TV.
I remember stacking shelves in a local convenience store I used to work, and I was going to go home to watch the game on Match of the Day. But I sneaked a little transmitter FM radio, and I was listening to it. And remember, it's like yesterday, listening to it on the radio, and the horrific reports they were coming out with, saying that the players have gone into the stands, they're helping people are caged in, and people are being trampled on. And the radio commentary, without seeing the pictures, I could not believe the horrific stuff that was going on after watching it on the news and whatever not. I mean, family, even to this day, I mean, last week was the 25th memorial, I watched it on the TV, and these people are still devastated. There is ripped families apart. I mean, there's kids are from the age of 10, 15, 17, brothers, sisters, that got trampled on. They only went to watch a game of football. And how could you turn around and say this was an element of hooliganism and this is why they died? They went there to cause trouble. Some went in with fake tickets. They got trampled on and they died, and it's accidental death. No, it's not accidental death. Someone has to come out and tell the truth. I mean, I was in the Liverpool Reading game, and it just horrified me when the Reading supporters started saying, this is what's been put in their heads. Always the victim, and it's never your fault. Mm. I mean, this is down to Maggie Thatcher's government and the corruption of the police force, saying that these people, in the word comma, deserve to die because they went there to cause trouble.
On that note, Soggy, if I just read to you a bit of background information, the Hillsborough Independent Panel in September 2012 concluded that no Liverpool fans were responsible for
That's
the
right.
deaths, and that attempts had been made by the authorities to conceal what had happened, including the alteration by police of 116 statements relating to the disaster. You know,
I mean, there was this woman's son, where if he received treatment at the time, could have been saved. Because he's lying there unconscious, they certified him dead and left and let it be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this, you know, I don't know what these fam, you know, give them justice. All they want is someone to tell them the truth. What happened on the day? Who's part? This is all they want. I mean, you know, to put themselves to. A couple of people have passed away who lost their children, etc., and they were never told the truth. 96 people going to watch a game of football. If you see these people who they were everyday football supporters, no hooligan element about them. They didn't go there to cause trouble. Them days the big cages were up, and people trying to get over these cages and got trampled on and stampede. It was a massive stampede, and obviously it was not enough security, or the thing wasn't handled properly. Just give them the truth.
do you think that's what justice would mean now? The truth?
The truth is always justice, bro. I mean, not knowing, you know, you're... This, oh God, I don't know how to put it. Some woman's son passes away and he's highlighted as a hooligan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he went there to... No, he went there to support his beloved club. He went there to an FA Cup semi-final to watch a game of football. So, hence, the other 40-odd thousand.
Mm-hmm.
If people knew they weren't going to come back, do you think anyone would have gone to that game of football? End of the day, it's a football match where 96 people perished, and all they wanted was the truth. I mean, the Sun came out the next day highlighted with a highlight of Scouse murderers or Liverpool murderers. Hence, the Sun Sun newspaper never ever being allowed to be sold in Liverpool itself. So they barred the Sun for coming out with headlines like that. I mean, where did they get that from?
No, the Sun handled the whole thing in a disgusting way. And if you want to talk about justice being the truth, well, they didn't give the truth. They gave sensationalized fiction that they thought would sell newspapers.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just, and it's coming to an end anyway. I mean, I think when in the next couple of months they're going to hear the outcome. I think individually they're going to get apologised, and it's going to come under some other panel. I don't know, but it's soon to be concluded anyway. 25 years of hurt and injustice will be concluded very soon for these suffering Liverpudlians.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So hopefully that'll be an end to that.
That'll be some closure, I guess.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you'll never.
I mean, I see the clip afterwards on LFTV, Liverpool TV, when they showed after Hillsborough. You know, what was it called? It was called Ray of Hope or something. Afterwards, and they interviewed, you know, these families have lost loved ones. They were interviewing them, and you can see the trauma on their face.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the hurt, the pain. 25 years of pain. Boy, all they want is the truth. So, you know, let's give them the truth. I mean, touching on Stephen Lawrence. Stephen Lawrence was murdered. I mean, out of Stephen Lawrence, there's a lot of things have branched out since then, with the Stephen Lawrence Trust and everything else. It's 93, I think. Stephen Lawrence got stabbed at a bus stop.
April 93.
And
in the southeast.
You know, I mean, the knife didn't fall from the sky and actually stab him. Someone physically harmed and killed Stephen Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. Because of his race.
Of his colour, of whatever it was. It was determined. Because I think he had a friend with him, a friend ran off, and there was evidence saying that they were being called the N-word and the black B words and all kinds, so hence where this racism stuff came in.
And the racism didn't stop when he died. It's led to the case being mishandled. Oh, it's only a black kid. Who cares?
Who cares?
Just
wipe it, let 5-1 go free.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know, one less. You know, they won't miss him.
Mm-hmm.
But we are in the 21st century, and this was amazing case, and it's still going to. Well, I don't know if it was summed up there, Junior. I think last year, a year before, they I think called 2 of them back into answer for their actions.
Further inquiries in 2012 by Scotland Yard and the Independent Police Complaints Commission ruled that there was no basis for further investigation. Home Secretary Theresa May ordered an independent inquiry into undercover policing and corruption by a prominent QC, which was described as devastating when published this year. So they're still looking into it. It's still not justice for him. And will it be justice for Stephen Lawrence when there's still racism today? How far have we come?
Is there racism today? Have you experienced any?
Well, growing up as a white male, you're not going to encounter racism in this country that much. Have I seen racism? Definitely yes. Am I stopped in my car? Am I stopped by the police when I've got Asian friends with me? Very often. Am I stopped on my own? No. So does that make me think maybe the police are a bit racist? Probably. I mean, that doesn't surprise me.
Maybe they're stopping you because of a crowd in a car. I think if you're on your own, there's less likely for you to get stopped. Yeah,
could be.
Just putting a spin on it, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've come a long way. We've got a long way to go.
I'll be honest with you. My experience with the police, I don't trust them one little bit.
Not even police, or just like people. I think people nowadays might be racist, but less likely to show it. Which is...
I like that one.
Yeah, they know, I don't want to say black. Or it's that kind of thing. And I've taught in a lot of schools. I've been in a lot of different staff rooms, and you'll get the racism. And I mean, here's a story. A while back, I was teaching in a school where the kids get picked up every day to go home in taxi, and this one you got to wait with the kids till they've all gone home and all been picked up. And this one kid must have been like year 8, year 9, or went into a racist tirade of abuse and started yelling at the taxi drivers, P-word this, you effing P-word, I'm not getting in the car with no effing P-word, this and that. And this woman teacher, my colleague, took him to one side and gave him a good telling off and said, how could you talk like that? How could you say that? If there were no Asians in this country, who do you think would drive your taxi? And that's her trying to not be racist. That's like great.
Where would you get milk from?
Presumably, if the Asians didn't drive taxis, we'd get the Polish to do it or whoever. But this is the thing: we now know that it's not acceptable to be. Well, I better not look racist, but secretly, people they hold these views. They think of ethnic minorities as other. And I think the way to deal with that is to have these discussions, challenge the racism. Don't brush it under the carpet. If you really think X, Y, and Z about black people, Asian people,
what would make you racist? I put my hand to my heart and say I have no problems with any race or creed. I've got friends that are pink, blue, black, brown.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it's just women are your issue.
No, I love women.
Oh no. But yeah, what makes someone racist? I think if you, it's ignorance, isn't it? It's just.
I don't know if anyone's listening out there and you hate the blacks and the Pakis. I would like to hear why. And then don't go down the road of they smell or they're different. What puts it in your heart to hate somebody because of their colour or the way of life. I mean, I've always, I don't know, that intrigues me to why people would think like that. If someone's good to me, I'm double good to them. I don't look at what skin colour, etc., or whatever. I've got a lot of, like I said, a lot of friends that are all kinds of race, all kinds of skin colours.
I think it's ignorant. It's just ignorant, Soggy.
How do you define ignorance? What's it? Just stems from the family? Stems what? What's ignorance? I don't know.
The environment
that's an easy thing to say.
Well, okay, it's ignorance mixed with feeling some kind of threat.
Okay.
But I would say,
and they feel threatened in some capacity. Yes.
Yeah. And if you look at poorer areas, I think poorer people are more likely to be nationalistic or to be racist.
Okay.
Because they perceive this illusion of I'm poor because of him or her or them
taking my job.
Yeah, it's them, and like our first clip, the Polish guy who's afraid of the Romanians. Quick question: do we have Skype up and running? We've got people that might want to be on Skype with us.
Let's hear you in just.
If you've got a story of injustice, add us on Skype.
Even better, call in.
Or call in. But what's the Skype address?
Producer. Say again. The Late Show 956 FM.
The Late Show 956 FM.
That's if you
add us up on Skype. And
I mean, it'd be great. I mean,
we'd be happy to.
I just want to hear people's stories out there of I'm trying to think of many of my own, but many times I've been stopped.
You ever had a injustice?
Deep one. I don't know. I mean, I've done 120 hours community service out of it. Whether that's fair or not fair, I don't want to say what I did live in the air. Maybe not. Maybe it's fair. Maybe it's my solicitor that was telling me not to worry. I was fine. And come the 10-day trial, I'm still sitting there.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm still there in the dock.
Wow.
And I was told not to worry. My case was a little compared to the other two suspects with me. It started off with 10, and it was down to the 3, and I was the least charged out of the 10. And I was a whisker away from doing 90 days. Many moons ago.
Wow.
But that was unjust, but it was just and unjust. Let me just give you a little breakdown of it. What happened was, it involved obviously the police. The police guy swung first.
Mm-hmm.
Brother Asim, if you're out there listening, you know what it's all about. I was trying to help you, save you and all that. And he swung first, missed. I threw the uppercut, connected. And the rest is history.
Wow.
And what they made up for it. When a right man pulled up with 10 of them in there, and there was nowhere to run, I put my hand up and said, "All right, fair cop, you got me." I got kicked to the ground, truncheoned in the back, kicked in the head, handcuffed, and the guy goes to me, "You're not hard now, are you?" And this is the police. I didn't realise I could do that.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the kind of language.
The
kind of professional language.
They use the P word and P for Paki and P for the other slang for a woman.
Yeah.
And I was just in shock. And what they did to my other colleagues that were actually arrested, and how they got treated in the cells, amazing. I didn't know they could do that. I didn't know you can be handcuffed and kicked and punched and elbowed. I see that in my own eyes, and that just shocked me.
Wow.
So after that, all respect for these people, there wasn't any left. So that's my little trials and tribulations episodes. There's a couple more being pulled over in a car and whatever not, And, you know, what's the reason, officer? Oh, just routine. What's routine stopping me? Let 10 go.
Really?
Yeah. What? You know, your face fits the description of someone we're looking for. Someone looking for what? On the A4 Bath Road.
That's terrible, man.
But, well, you get used to this way of life, and it's the way it is. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you being a white boy and all that, you don't get all that, did you?
No, well, I've been manhandled at certain protests. I think, obviously, with a white face, you're less likely to get the police brutality. But when you make your views clear, they might abuse you for that. I've been protesting outside the Israeli embassy when things have got a bit heavy, and the police have illegally kettled me. When people were given compensation for that, kettling is when the police barricade in a whole bunch of people in one place for an extended period of time, and there's no way in, there's no way out. People are there for hours on end, and it's some form of collective punishment. And the police were doing it to make a point. And you hear the language, you hear that there's bullying mentality. I mean, we're going to do a show on bullying coming up soon, and there is a lot of bullying going on, and you could be black, white, or Asian or whatever. If the police are treating you unfairly, then that is an injustice, and people have been paid out compensation for it. Actually, I've got it on video somewhere. This was 2008 or January 2009 during Operation Cast Lead. I was unjustly kettled, as they called it, outside the Israeli embassy. So there you go. The police could bully just about anyone, man. It's an issue. It's a big issue. Shall we hear some more calls? Some more views?
Why not? Let's go for it.
Really short men. Short men have it harder than anybody seems to acknowledge. Also really tall women. You might think I'm trying to be funny, but think about it. Almost no group of people have a harder time trying to find an attractive companion than a short man and a really tall woman. There are of course expectations to this rule as every, but it's a common struggle. It's unfair because they have a really disadvantage about something they cannot control. It's social because it comes down to a fundamentally important interaction between individuals within their society.
Tall men and tall women, is that unjust, Soggy? Is that unfair?
That's human nature. I don't know.
I mean, I know it's a discrimination in Legoland and various places.
Well, ain't that for the safety?
Yeah. So is it unfair that tall men and tall women find it hard to find a partner? Or short men, rather, and tall women. Is it unfair that we have this kind of view that the man should be taller than woman, and if you're a female and you're 5'10", 5'11", you're gonna have your choice of partner severely diminished because you'd be laughed at if you were with a man of average height.
Love has no boundaries.
Oh,
if the woman's 7'5" and the guy's 4'2",
well said, okay,
and they love each other, then good luck to them. If people want to laugh, I think their bond is stronger than what anybody or any other snide comments people want to make. It's down to them. Good luck to you. Or other way around, if you're a 4'4" woman and a 7' man and you love each other, love makes the world go round. I'm still waiting for mine to go round, but this is why I'm here, so...
Well, we go live, unscreened, entirely at random to line 1.
We'll have a caller.
Hello, caller. You're on the late show.
Hi.
Hey.
Are you talking about short men or tall women?
No, I'm talking about short women.
Ah, short women.
Yes.
Women are all short.
Not my height. Come on, I'm 5'1".
5'1".
Is that with heels or without heels?
The injustice was, I had an interview, and she said to me, what would refrain you from working in a suitable working environment? What would be your obstacle? And I said my height, because I wouldn't be able to reach the boxes and stuff when I'm doing stockroom checks.
Oh no! What? So, and they didn't? Did you get the job?
No, I didn't.
What job was it?
It was for a retail assistant at Scott.
For a well-known supermarket. We won't mention the name.
It wasn't a supermarket.
Oh, what was it?
It was a retail store called Scott.
Okay, and they discriminated against you because of your height.
Yep.
At 5'1". That's a disgrace. Disgusting.
Yes, it is indeed.
Thank you for airing your views on the Late Show. Justice for short people.
Yes, and the other injustice is I haven't seen my husband in about a year.
Really? Where is he?
He's cooped up in London somewhere.
Really?
And he won't come down to Birmingham.
What's his excuse?
His excuse is, it's a terrible excuse.
Is he busy presenting a radio
he
show?
He's busy working, but he's sleeping most of the time.
We need to lose this call, producer. Sorry, we're losing the line here. That's fascinating.
Thank you for listening to my story.
Thank you for sharing your views live on the Late Show.
Okay. Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Ooh, unsatisfied job applicant there. But yeah, look, we joke about it, but height discrimination could be an example of an injustice. So I think we need to highlight the hurricane who passed away this week.
Reuben Carter.
Reuben Carter, a US boxer whose fight against a life term for murder inspired Bob Dylan's song, The Hurricane. Bob Dylan's got a song about it. Do you want to give me a brief outline? Or I'll do it.
Have you seen the film?
I have seen the film.
That's the first time I knew about it, when I saw the film starring Denzel Washington.
Yeah, based on a true story.
Based on the hurricane.
Yeah. In fact, that's probably the best way to find out about his life. Watch the film, The Hurricane. Briefly, his life story was that he was arrested in 1966. Carter and his friend were arrested for a triple homicide, and the police stopped Carter's car and brought him and his friend to the scene of the crime. On searching the car, the police found ammunition that fit the weapons used in the murder. Police took no fingerprints at the crime scene and lacked the facilities to conduct a paraffin test for gunshot residue. Carter and his accomplice were tried and convicted twice, 1967 and 1976, for the murders, but after the second conviction was overturned in 1985, the prosecutors chose not to try the case for a third time. And if you've seen the film, or if you've read book as well, about his life, racism was the issue there, and as a young kid, I think the police were out to get him, and
he's an easy target, a black youth, fitted again the description, just fitted him up perfect, destroyed his boxing career, and everything. It will destroy his life, forget boxing.
Yeah, I mean, this started. I've got the article from this week's Guardian, his obituary. When he was, I think, 11, he was moved to a school for problem students, like having behaviour problems in school, and at age 11, he stabbed a man who he said was trying to abuse him, and he spent the next 6 years in and out of a state home. So from that time, he was known to the police because he tried to defend himself against a child molester, basically. and the police had this mentality of they wanted to get their man. They were going to pin something on him, you know, because you can't let a black kid get away with it, so to speak. So yeah, his little quote from him that I'm going to read. He said, "If I find a heaven after this life, I'll be quite surprised. To live in a world where truth matters and justice, however late, really happens, that world would be heaven enough for us all." So he said, you know, if we had justice in this life, in this world, that would be good enough. If you spent nearly 20 years in prison for a crime you didn't commit, the idea of justice probably would be heaven, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't do that, well, I can't even comprehend it.
Yeah, yeah.
Best of your lives caged up.
Yeah, waiting for justice.
Knowing full well that you shouldn't be there.
Mm.
I don't know. Many would crack, many would go insane. I know I would.
Yeah.
Well, that's where your beliefs and the fundamental belief in humanity would come into play. Your faith, your deen, your every inch of every ounce of strength and belief that you have within you. Hence, him picturing heaven and hell in his little piece of quote he just gave there.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, we've done we've done a whole show on it, but obviously Nelson Mandela is a
great example of that.
Is a perfect example, and in fact Nelson Mandela wrote the foreword in the Hurricanes biography, in Reuben Carter's biography. So they obviously got a lot of common ground, waiting for justice. So there's one more injustice that I want to talk about, that we haven't mentioned yet, that I thought was pretty
appropriate.
Yeah, appropriate. And I don't know if everyone will be familiar with this one. It goes back to 1972. This is an even longer wait for justice. It's an event that happened in the north of Ireland, known as Bloody Sunday, on the 30th of January 1972, in Derry. 26 civil rights protesters and bystanders were shot by British soldiers. 13 males, 7 of whom were teenagers, died immediately, and 1 soon after. This was British soldiers opening fire on a civil rights protest. And 2 investigations have been held by the British government in the immediate aftermath. It largely cleared the soldiers and British authorities of blame. How's that possible when you shoot 13 people dead? 13 unarmed people. The Widgery Tribunal described the soldiers' shooting as bordering on the reckless, but was widely criticised as a whitewash. And then you had the Savile inquiry, which chaired by Lord Savile, was established in 1998, many decades later, to re-investigate the events. Following a 12-year inquiry, Savile's report was made public in June 2010. I mean, this is half a lifetime away, and contained findings of fault that could reopen the controversy and potentially lead to criminal investigations for some soldiers involved in the killings. Like, potentially lead to some criminal investigations 40 years on.
Many are past.
Yeah.
People suffering the loss of loved ones on the day are past. This is relevant to them.
Yeah. But then again, it's the truth, isn't it? That's the justice, is the truth. And David Cameron, or Dave as he likes to be known, made a formal apology on behalf of the United Kingdom. Yeah, sorry. You know,
Will I cut it with you? Don't cut it with me.
that's 13 innocent lives lost.
And sorry.
Teenagers.
Sorry to the parents who have long passed. That many have passed. Many
And,
generations.
you know, I mean, Ireland's had a bloody history, and it was going through some very bloody
Tough
decades
times
at the time, and that was the biggest recruiting poster for people to take up armed struggle. That's when you legitimise the terrorist. I mean, I don't wish anyone in Ireland to pick up any weapon and turn it on anyone, but if you saw your brother, son, whoever shot down by a soldier,
blatantly
what are you going to think? Yeah, murder. Bloody Sunday remains among the most significant event in the Troubles of Northern Ireland, the so-called Troubles, chiefly because those who died were shot by the British Army rather than paramilitaries in full view of the public and the press. So yeah, that's another one I thought we need to bring up.
There's many justices and injustices out there. We're just highlighting the main ones.
Well, I've said it before. If there's an injustice anywhere, there's an injustice everywhere, and there's no hierarchy of injustice. As you say, we're just highlighting it. I know we're getting a bit somber tonight, but yeah, you've got to bring it up. Shall we lighten the mood with a few more calls?
Yeah.
A few more views, rather.
Go for it. And anyone else listening out there, it'd be nice to hear your justice and injustice stories. If you want to share them with us, the Reading public, the general public, it'd be good to hear from you. This is The Late Show, 95.6 FM. Every Wednesday night we're here to serve you, the Reading community. If you wish to be part of our programme, want to Skype in or want to be a studio guest, we're more than entertain you, it'll be our pleasure to entertain you. If you have any issues that need to be highlighted, you feel that could benefit the listeners, then please do email The Late Show. We can be found on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and Skype. So, just look up The Late Show 95.6 FM. And if you want to be a studio guest via Skype, live, any which way, and any which way you think you can help the community. Last week we had a great show with Sister Safina, who came in to talk about hepatitis C and her involvement in the community with it and how she can help people. If anyone out there listening feels that they got something that's worth sharing, then please do give us a shout. We're here for you. We are the People's Voice every Wednesday night, inshallah, from 9:30 onwards. We are produced by Yasser Ali. We thank him for his gracious time. I know he's busy doing all these flyers and adverts for us. We appreciate it. Don't think it goes unnoticed. And obviously, Brother Julian and myself and the absent Brother Babar Ali. I understand that he's in the gym trying to sort out his physique for this summer strength challenge, which we'll highlight in a bit, which is coming up on June the 1st. So he's flexing his stuff away, so he's wanted a few weeks off, so that's why you haven't heard the lush sexy voice of Babar Ali. So soon be back. So we want to go to...
Alright, we're going to hear some more of these views that were submitted during the week. If you don't agree with them, you should have submitted something better. Alright, here we go.
Everyone, is Nushin Yusefian here. Because we all have different personalities, different approach to life, different feelings, we shouldn't treat each other equally, while with the equal respect. We live in a world where everyone fights for his own rights, and the first step we should really take is fighting against opportunism, which is basically screwing up our society and people's life.
Opportunism.
Why do I keep thinking that everyone's background was some music? I thought again that was a song. You know, it's just amazing. Just a mashallah, lovely voice. Whoever that was.
That's Nushin Yusefian, who is currently trying to Skype us. Yeah, so I've just received a text.
Is she a female?
She is a female.
Mashallah,
I'm pretty sure.
Absolutely gorgeous voice.
Beautiful voice there, Nushin.
That's a beautiful voice.
Soggy's impressed.
I thought she was going to break into a song.
Well,
might be an artist.
Beautiful Italian accent that was.
Oh, she's Italian.
We've got her online. Maybe she can explain what she meant by opportunism.
I'll just sit back and listen to this one.
Hello, Nushin. We can't hear Nushin yet. Hello, Nushin.
You may speak.
Welcome to the Late Show.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, whack her up a little bit, Yasser.
Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us? She's saying hello, but she can't hear us, Yasser. Nushin, we can hear you.
Oh, right. So, just talk.
But you're very quiet. Speak right into your mic, very loudly, if you can.
Yeah, can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, speak really loudly and into the mic.
Yeah, I can't speak really loudly because I have a flatmate.
You're in the library. That would be unjust.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Just about. Yasser, can you put her up any further?
Okay. Thank you very much for saying that thing about my voice. I really feel like it sounds like a hamster, but
No, I wasn't joking, sister, when I said that.
I really appreciate it.
Sincere. Obviously, if you're Italian, it helps. So you're Italian?
No.
Hello.
Nushin, what did you mean by opportunism?
Okay.
Why is that an injustice?
I can't really hear if you can hear me properly because I hear the voice going back and forth. But anyway.
We can hear you. Go ahead. What did you mean by opportunism?
Yeah, by opportunism basically means that even if you know that a person is right, you would rather take the side of another person just because it would benefit you. That's what opportunism is really giving problems to our society. As we don't really, we're starting out people as they are and what they think about or what they feel, if they're right or not. We would rather stay on an side just for our own benefit. Very fragile and very weak, because they don't want to lose maybe someone. They prefer to stay a group or part of a group rather than actually hearing a person to you. I think this is really a problem for society, and it's creating a lot.
Nushin, great call on that one. I hope that you will continue to support us, and we will support you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just want to guys, you hear me speaking very badly. It's just because I can hear my voice. Hey?
It's alright.
Yeah, it's like echo.
Next time, get us on the landline, and we'll hear you loud and clear. But thank you very much for the call. We appreciate it.
Sorry, guys, you're closing after schooling now. There are so many things I would like to talk to you about regarding justice or closing, but I really appreciate what you're doing because you're sharing people's views with others, and it's a good cause.
Nushin, so please continue to promote it and to contribute, and sort your phone out. The landline will be much clearer. But we're very glad to hear from you.
Definitely call you. Maybe we can talk about it.
Thank you. Thank you for your call.
Well done, guys.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, nice to get a bit of support there. That's Nushin, the lovely Nushin, whose voice Soggy enjoyed.
But that one was like in and out. It didn't do her justice.
Well, that's Skype.
That's Skype.
But
next time.
The landline.
I like it today.
Anonymous text. In football, there are many big injustices, several per game. But the argument of those ruling the game is we shouldn't have video replays to quash the injustice because it would ruin the flow of the game. And we go live to air. Interesting text there. But we got a call. You're live, unscreened, entirely at random on The Late Show. Who's this?
Yes, fam.
Good evening.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, injustice is the only way to ensure, that things are done properly. You know what I mean?
It's that time, right? Injustice is the only way to ensure things are done properly.
Yeah, because don't send people to jail.
Who is this?
Me, it's Dr. Octagon.
Dr. Octagon. Why would that be the way to deal
Well,
with
if you
things?
think about it, without injustice, other people can't be happy.
Okay, so you can't keep everyone happy. Why do I have to be happy at someone else's expense?
That's what I'm saying.
Is that why Liverpool have to win and Chelsea have to lose?
Well, it's not about Chelsea as much as, the other people.
Who?
Well, like everyone else, innit? Because think about it, if someone's like killing someone, and they don't deserve to be killed, then you got to send that person to jail, innit?
And would that be justice?
Exactly, but what's the good in that?
Well, people will say that's justice has been done.
Yeah,
Justice has been said.
but if you follow it through, then everyone will be in jail, wouldn't they?
The prison authorities would be in jail for imprisoning another person.
Well, not necessarily for that reason, but everyone's got like a little secret, you know what I mean?
What's your little secret?
What's your little secret?
Well, it depends, you know what I'm saying, which account you're on.
We've all got our skeletons in the closet.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, you can't really point the finger.
Me personally?
You and the other dude, innit?
Pointing fingers at who?
Exactly. That would be injustice, innit?
We're not pointing fingers, we're just highlighting injustices that have occurred over the last few years in the UK.
But without the wherewithal and the awareness, you can't have a system that allows for people to go unaccounted for.
Do you think have we done injustice justice? Do you think we haven't, by highlighting certain things, are we being hypocrites?
It's not so much you've done injustice justice.
Stephen Lawrence, my man. Stephen Lawrence, did he deserve to die the way he did? And for us to be sitting here 20 odd years later, waiting to be explained about his death and who murdered him, in simple terms.
See, that's what I'm saying. You can say that, but I can't.
Why can't you say that? What's stopping you?
But I can't say that, can I?
Why not?
I don't even remember the exact word you used, innit?
In what context?
In the context of this phone call.
It's midnight.
but for real, like, joking aside.
Go ahead, Dr. Octagon. Joking aside, Dr. Octagon.
Yeah, but without, you know what I'm saying, joking aside, without injustice, how are you ever going to reach a scenario where unfair things are done to each other?
How are you going to reach a scenario? What would be the ideal scenario, Dr. Octagon, in a perfect world?
Ideal scenario, would be like a big hall, like a banquet, like fruit on one table, like a nice, like, you know what I'm saying, like chocolate fountain on the other, and a bunch of people in nice suits doing the rounds, and you all get a chance to get a bit of fruit, a bit of chocolate, you know what I'm saying, you sit, you talk, and in that scenario, you know what I'm saying, like...
It's funny you say that, I just come from one of them things, just literally before I got here.
See, and how is that justice? You know what I'm saying, I wasn't there, my man wasn't there, you know what I mean?
But it was just a few of us there.
Yeah, but you were laughing, innit?
I'm not laughing, why am I laughing?
Because you just come from a banquet.
And, okay, you know, if you want to leave me your number, I'll take you there tomorrow, no big deal.
Yeah, but I didn't go there tonight.
Maybe it wasn't in your destiny to go there tonight.
What I'm saying is, why do you deserve to be there tonight?
I didn't deserve. I got an invite, my brother, and I went there.
You deserve it. That's injustice.
No, that's not injustice. I got an invite. I could have declined it, but as I was free for a couple of hours.
Or not? Did you deserve to go there or not?
I don't understand what you mean by deserve.
I'll tell you what, Dr. Octagon, this I don't know what your
what you're trying to achieve.
Persuasion is, but this almost sounds like the Christian argument that no one is deserving of heaven.
Yeah.
Can you understand where I'm going with that?
Well, what you mean, like they say that because we're all sinners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying no one deserves to go to the banquet. All I'm saying is, I don't know why my man was there and me not there. You know what I mean? Like, and people I know weren't there.
Yeah, where were you between 6 and 8 o'clock this evening?
Between 6 and 8 o'clock, yeah. I was having a packet of crisps.
Oh, there you go. Where was my packet of crisps?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but you had like a chocolate fountain.
That was at 9 o'clock, bro.
Yeah, but
I rather had a packet of crisps at 8 o'clock.
Well, yeah, then you didn't get one, did you?
No, that's injustice, isn't it?
So that goes to show, yeah, that just because you're at the banquet, it doesn't mean that you should be there. You know
so where was my packet of crisps?
Well, if the banquet thought of that, they would have given you some, innit? Either way,
no, but then I'm unlucky, wasn't I? So how am I lucky going to this banquet when I wanted a packet of crisps and you were eating it?
Yeah, but let's be real. Do you regret going to the banquet? Do you regret it?
I never regret anything in my life.
There you go.
But I regret not sharing a packet of crisps with you.
Well, you just said you never regret anything.
No, I don't. But if I had an option of going to the banquet of having a packet of crisps with you, I would have shared a packet of crisps with you.
Well, there you go. So you regret going to the banquet because you could have had a packet of crisps.
Yeah, but you did not invite me or wanted to share that with me. Hence, leaving me no choice but to go to the invite that I was invited to.
An hour ago, yeah. If I passed you in the street, would you know who I am?
I haven't got a clue, bro.
Exactly then. So how am I supposed to share a packet of
Ali. I've got my theories. Dr. Octagon.
Yeah.
You've given us a lot of food for thought.
Food for thought. That's what I'm saying. Banquet,
exactly. Yeah. £5 all you can eat.
Alright.
Really
next
appreciate
time is a banquet, yeah.
Maybe we'll have one together. We'll organise a late show banquet,
and
then we'll all eat from the same
with
plate.
Monster Munch, yeah, the pink monster one.
Yeah, I like pickled onion.
I like pickled onion.
We'll all be there.
Yeah.
That would be just. Dr. Octagon, thank you very much for your call.
No problem.
On the late show. Peace to you.
Later.
Yeah, Dr. Octagon there, putting it out there. A just banquet. I like that. I like that idea. That the symbolism that he created there. If you do want to get involved, like Dr. Octagon did, give us a call on the same number, which is 01189660382, and you'll get through live, unscreened, and entirely at random. We do have a few more clips to get through. We've been through a lot tonight.
Still justice for the 96.
Justice for the 96.
You know the justice for 96 will be complete when Liverpool bring home the championship this year.
I think most neutrals are rooting for them. I wouldn't begrudge them on the 25th anniversary, but it's not. They've got Chelsea to get past. Let's hear some more clips from my research this week on injustice. Right, injustice. What just happened there?
That's injustice. What's it called? Discrimination. Why? See, these four guys come.
That was an incident I had with a friend where he got rejected from the pub for being drunk. That's why I had to bleep out the swearing. Yeah, there you go. Well, to the
next one.
On to the next one. Keep going.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, General of the Felix Legions. Loyal servant to the true Emperor, Julian Morrow. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next.
Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. Name that film, Soggy.
Braveheart?
Not Braveheart, although that would have been a good one. Come on, I could do charades.
Run the lyrics again.
One word. We can't really.
No, you two.
It was father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. I mean, that's a pretty big injustice. The music in the background should have been a clip. Maybe I'll leave it out there for texters.
No, that's a good way in.
Name that film. Father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. What is the name of that film? And you will win an exclusive Late Show T-shirt. Yeah, size extra large. Yeah, food for thought. All right, on to the next clip, producer.
I met a guy called Julian 9 months ago, and he seemed nice at first, but...
Sorry, that one shouldn't be included on this. Sorry, don't worry about that one. Ignore it.
No, I want to hear more about that one. 9 months ago. That's the one. 9 months ago. What happened 9 months ago?
She was holding a newborn
Was
baby.
She was holding the newborn.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Didn't have a name yet.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
No comment on that one.
Let's not push that any further.
Let's keep it rolling, Yasser.
9 months ago.
The biggest injustice today, in my opinion, is the growing restriction on movement of people. The fact that, a banana can travel all around the world, except we as people can't, because of border restrictions and passports and visas. And if you try to seek asylum in a different country because your country isn't safe, then you could be put into a detention center indefinitely as if you were a criminal.
Okay, being detained for seeking asylum, is that an injustice?
No, that's a just. Lock them all up and throw away the key.
Thank you, Mr. Griffin.
No problem.
We touched on it earlier on, and there's another caller who mentions it actually. But yeah, people that are persecuted in their country should have the right to seek asylum. But open borders, should we let everyone travel everywhere?
Don't be daft.
Why?
Come on.
What would be the problem with that?
We can't see. You're gonna have nobody left in Pakistan. Pakistan will be called England. Well, England will be called Pakistan. The only thing left in Pakistan will be the goats and the sheep. Maybe some people might put them on their back and walk over with them as well. So we can't do that. So otherwise.
And we got a call. Might be a response. We go live unscreened entirely at random.
Line 3.
Caller, you're live on the Late Show.
Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Would you like to know my name, or should I just get straight to the point?
Well, who are we talking to? Let's be formal. You sound like a formal guy.
Yes, I like to keep things formal, unless we, of course, know each other.
Pleasure, sir. Go right ahead.
Well, you talked about justice in your home country.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to expand the point, or perhaps shrink it slightly, and talk about justice in your own household.
Go for it. Who are we talking to, Mr. Formal? Mr. who?
For the purposes of the call,
An initial will do.
Well, UV.
Mr. UV.
That's not how I would like to be addressed.
Oh, for what? How would you like to be addressed?
Uncle Vanya.
Uncle, go ahead. What justice in your own house?
Yes, I would like to paint a picture, and you tell me honestly, how would you respond?
Okay.
You enter your house later on tonight, let's say, and of course everything's normal. You open the door with the key, perhaps you hang your coat, and you take off your shoes. Now, this is all normal procedure.
Just a normal night?
Yeah. and the lights are off because you had left them off before you left the house.
Makes sense.
This isn't Oscar Pistorius.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Is it?
I reject that, and I don't think I should honour that with it.
Sorry, Mr. UV. Go ahead.
So in this scenario, you've entered your home. Now, of course, this is what you would expect to happen. Except, when you enter your living room, having turned on the lights in the landing, the door is slightly ajar. This isn't unusual. Perhaps you have a pet of some kind, and you leave the doors open in order to allow the pet to negotiate room to room. Are you with me?
Yeah, we're picturing it.
You enter the living room, and there he is. A man of great importance. A man whose status far exceeds yours. Do you understand?
Who is this man?
Yes. These are the words that run through your mind as you look at him.
What is he doing there?
Exactly. I'm glad you've invested in this scenario, because
I'm with you.
Those are the thoughts that I would be thinking.
What's that in his hand? Or am I going too far?
Well, you could take over from here. I hadn't envisioned anything in his hand.
I mean, you carry on. We're with you.
Well, there he is, sitting on your couch. The television isn't on. Indeed, the lights weren't even on.
What the hell is he doing?
What was he doing?
This is freaking me out.
In your...
Why is he there?
And another question, which you have not yet asked. How did he get in there?
Well, he must have broken in, but there was no sign of break-in. Forced entry.
Yes. Yes, it's ironic that I should be asking you this question, isn't it?
Are you calling from my house?
No, not
Mr.
exactly.
Am I going to meet you when I get out? This is chilling.
I fear you're not taking this scenario seriously enough.
We're with you. We're serious. Go ahead.
So there you are, face to face with this man sitting on your couch. Of great importance, I must stress, his status far exceeds yours.
He's an important man.
Yeah.
This is like a kind of through the keyhole, but in reverse.
I'm not familiar with the...
The clues are there as we
It
go.
lost me because I don't have a couch in my house, so it can't be sitting in my house.
Well,
let's go with it. Let's go with it. All right. A man of importance is in your house. He's got in there somehow.
However, even though he's not doing anything with his hands, he is chewing.
What's he chewing?
Well, it's not obvious because he chews with his mouth closed.
Polite man.
He is. Well groomed.
That rules us out. So, are we going down the road of would it be just to confront him in a aggressive way? I mean, he hasn't posed a threat yet, but if someone's in my house and
they ain't supposed to be there.
I mean, Tony Martin could tell you this.
Well, if you would
he
follow
shot a
me for
gypsy
the
in the
next
back.
few seconds of the scenario, perhaps it would change how you respond.
Go on, Mr. Uvi, go.
He is chewing, and then he proceeds to dig into his jacket pocket. He pulls out a tube made of paper, in which sweets are wrapped lightly in plastic wrapping.
Smarties.
He gesticulates forward with the very hand holding the tube, as if to offer you the very sweet he is chewing, not the very one.
Not the very one. Yeah. That was a slip of the tongue, literally. Okay, so he's offering you, a stranger in your house is offering you sweets. Not the one he's chewing, but an equivalent one. What do you do?
Now, this offer, in most other contexts, would be considered polite.
It would. Is it an unconditional offer?
Juxtaposed with the impolite act of sitting uninvited in your living room.
It is a juxtaposition.
Yeah. Is your colleague accepting of this? Do you agree it's a juxtaposition?
I'm there, I'm listening intently.
I want us all to agree it is a juxtaposition.
It is just.
Sorry?
It's a juxtaposition.
It is.
We agree.
Right. However, he doesn't vocalize the offer. He's chewing his own sweet while offering you one of your own.
It's merely a suggestion.
Yes. Thus far, this is the scenario. Now, how would you respond?
Do you know what? until you're in that situation, I think it's very hard to say. But
after the initial shock
yeah,
of finding someone in the house, depending on the character that's there, you would take it from there, wouldn't you? It depends on what...
You would take the sweet from there?
Depending on the circumstances leading up to the offering of the sweet, yes.
Yeah, I think I might take the sweet as well. Because you've described him as being like a calm, polite man.
Yeah.
I would take the sweet, then probably go phase 2. Either freak out or ask him what the hell he's doing there.
Right. Well, bear in mind, this is a man you recognise, but you're not sure where from.
What book are you reading?
Books? Why are we now talking about books?
No, it just seems like the Stephen King thriller. This.
Yeah.
The scenario that you're putting out there.
I have not even begun to explore the depth.
Tales of the unexpected.
Yep.
What if the man then stood up in the face of your inaction and he insisted you take the sweet, this time more aggressively?
I wouldn't let him get that far. I would have taken the sweet beforehand.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd rather take the sweet when he's sitting down to calm the situation, which obviously I'm freaked out at the time, and thinking of my next step would be to make friends by taking the sweet. It shows an act of friendliness and whatever. At the same time, I'll be thinking, what could I hit him over the head with while he's sitting down?
Violence.
Obviously, no. But depending on the act that's to follow, depending on what's going on there, you would always be thinking of self-defense, wouldn't you? You wouldn't know what this man that's sitting in your house on your couch that shouldn't be there is doing there.
May I inquire as to your name?
My name?
Yes.
My name's Sajid.
Sajid, are you aware of your colleague's qualification to answer this question?
No, I haven't. No, but he can answer it for himself.
Do you have any idea how qualified he is?
I haven't a clue, to be honest with you.
Maybe you should ask him.
Julian.
Mr. Uvi, are you suggesting that I've done this?
I'm merely suggesting your colleague ask you a question.
So he asked me the question. I feel like we're in a hostage situation here. I feel like... In fact,
Julian, how would you react to this scenario?
If that callers, this is not a phone call at all. This man is in the studio holding us at gunpoint. Please come and help. This is very real. I don't want the sweets.
How would you react to this situation, Julian?
It's a very hypothetical one, but I think I'd take the sweets. And I just like I went to Windsor Castle recently. And the Queen was confronted with almost this exact scenario when she awoke to a strange man in the bedroom, and she remained calm and she spoke to him for about 20 minutes apparently, and I would probably do like the Queen did and remain calm and talk to the individual, because if they're there they might be bit unstable.
Yeah.
Mr. UV, have we passed your test?
Well, at this stage thus far, you have remained safe.
Thank you.
In the scenario that I've painted for you.
Thank you.
However, there are more depths to explore in this situation. We don't have the time to do it now.
I look forward to exploring.
We got all the time in the world.
Carry on.
We ain't going
I would
home.
like to add, the man before you, seeing as you just mentioned the Queen, was a staunch monarchist.
But not a queen.
Not a queen in the sense that you mean.
Okay. Well, starting to drag. But he's a monarchist. His political views I wouldn't discriminate on it.
Okay,
on the grounds of his political views.
Breaking it all down, Yubi. What's the gist of the call?
Well, Sergeant, had you asked your colleague of the qualification he has to answer this question, you would be far more enlightened as to why I am presenting this to you. He is very gifted, Mr. Morrow.
How well do you know Mr. Morrow?
Well, have I taught you?
Well enough.
I've actually got a vocational course in stranger situations. So no, thank you very much, UV. You're very kind. If you think I'm well qualified.
At the beginning of the call, not to be referred to as you.
Sorry, forgive me.
Rather, Uncle Vanya.
Sorry, Uncle Vanya. Ah, yes, there's the initial. Uncle Vanya. Thank you very much for.
I can't promise that I won't
your
call
kind
again.
words. No, please do call
No,
again.
please do,
Give
please
us another
do.
hypothetical situation. I hope it's hypothetical. And like us on Facebook, please. The Late Show. We're on there. We'd.
And Mr. Morrow.
Yes.
I admire your qualification greatly.
Thank you, Uncle. Hope I don't see you when I get up. That's Uncle V. There he goes.
UV.
Uncle, yeah, but he might be called that. But that's nice to hear from him.
Yeah.
And that was actually quite a very graphic, hypothetical scenario that he painted for us. That was nice to have.
Right, the voice.
I don't think it was the Midnight Caller.
No, he wasn't a Midnight
wasn't.
Caller. No. He was too posh for Midnight Caller.
Yeah.
I think the previous one before might have been.
Might
Yasser Ali, where are you? Is the question.
That's the question. Well, look, shall we hear a few more clips? We're nearly wrapping things up with my research there.
You're a very talented man, Mr.
Apparently,
Morrow.
I'm a very talented man.
Very talented. Very
Qualification.
talented.
But here we go.
Let's go, next one.
Not seeing you for more than a year, probably, is injustice. And I believe you should come to Birmingham and see your Elmo, Mrs. Morrow, as soon as possible. Okay? Bye-bye.
I think that was my wife again.
My God, you're in demand, ain't you, Mr. Morrow? Wife? Are you married, are you?
I can't remember.
How many times are you married?
We'll keep it going. Keep it rolling. Yes,
9 months married, third woman to call in.
Here we go.
My goodness, you're popular.
One big injustice will be Russia raping Crimea.
Russia and Crimea.
Deep.
Is it an injustice? Very briefly, very quickly, my view is that Crimea was part of Russia. It was unjustly given away by Stalin, and by a democratic vote it has been returned to Russia. So no, I think it is just that Crimea has returned to Russia. That's my view on that one. Keep them rolling.
Hello, this is Juan from New Zealand. The injustice that bothers me the most is the fact that there's multiple cures for cancer, but people are still dying from cancer. Even worse is the fact that there are multiple charities for cancer claiming to research a cure, but they still haven't found a cure. This begs the question, where's all your donations going? I think big pharmaceutical companies and, quote, the system, unquote, don't want you to be cured. There's no money to be made in solutions, only prescriptions.
Only money to be made in prescriptions and not solutions. We touched upon this on the Conspiracy Show. Are you with Juan from New Zealand on that one?
Definitely makes a lot of sense there. But how do we go about proving it is another issue altogether.
You could do a whole show on that. I think we will go back to conspiracy theories, not least because our show was lost. The one show that every week the show gets recorded.
And like I told you, the planes landed in the K2 mountains. It came out yesterday. They're saying the plane has landed somewhere. Hence, they can't find a debris anywhere. That was one of our other shows. What's happened to the missing airline? But like I keep telling people, everyone laughs at me. It's been hijacked. It's been parked up, waiting for demands to be met. Hence, the demands not being met, which is why we go on. I'm telling you now, they will never find the plane because it didn't crash. Another story, another time. Let's play on.
All right.
Gotta go home.
Go back to the clips.
Seconds long, and she said, "Fine, we'll both do it." And she spoke for 32 seconds, which meant I didn't get to do one at all. This is an injustice because I was promised something and it wasn't delivered. Either way, I'm going to try and do one more for you that hopefully will be just, and I will be allowed to give him my. And she's interrupting this one. Go on.
No.
What do you mean no? What does no mean? Okay, that was it. 30 seconds is up now.
I think that was a couple arguing over trying to submit their view. So no one got any. No one
Sounded like UV again.
Yeah, it could be.
I had a cold shiver going down my spine.
Here we go. Keep it going.
Yo, my name is Mills, talking from London, Leicester Square right now. Injustice. I think it's really wrong that Arab countries don't give passports or residencies to foreigners where European countries do. What's going on with that?
Yeah, that was patriotic. That's my good friend Millsy there, saying that Arab countries don't give visas to foreigners, but European countries do. Maybe he's referring to the fact that you can move freely within the European Union, whether you're Romanian, Polish, or French, British, or whatever. But if you're going to go to the Middle East as a British citizen, it could be more difficult. A lot of complaints about border control tonight. I don't know.
They need it. I think the borders agencies do well, to be honest with you, and they need to be protected.
Well, if you want to expand on it, Millsy, give us a call from whatever country you're trying to
few good
get
men.
into.
Son, I sit on that wall. We won't go into that. Carry on.
Oh, well, we got a call. Maybe that's Millsy reacting.
Millsy should be in bed asleep.
On air.
Hello?
Hello, caller.
That doesn't sound like Millsy.
Millsy?
No. Did you want Millsy to call?
We don't mind who calls. Who's this?
Sawab.
Sawab, welcome to the show. Welcome back to the show. Can you explain what Milad was on about?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out, actually. I don't know what he's talking about, because Europe doesn't go out giving people passports and visas unless you're European. Or,
well, that's what being from Europe is.
No, he said unlike Arab countries, Europe gives people visas and passports and
within themselves. Perhaps he means that it's unfair that we can go to France and Spain and likewise they can come here, but we can't travel freely to Arab countries. Could that have been what he meant?
Well, it doesn't sound like it. I don't know. But as in, like, the Europe actually is always tightening up its borders and immigration, and you can't just no, he said for foreigners. He said Europeans give passports and visas to foreigners, whereas Arab countries do not. So he specifically said foreigners.
Well, maybe he thinks that.
That doesn't mean Europeans.
Well, Europeans are foreign to him. Who knows what he meant? But there is a lot of French people in France, for example. But the borders over here have been loosened a bit recently as more countries enter the EU. Do you think that would be a good thing if we all were part of one big world government or something like that?
No, I don't believe in this like world government, but I think the world would be a better place if borders were loosened up, because people tightening border restrictions doesn't keep people from moving. It's in human nature to move.
Just makes it harder when they do.
From one place to another, it just makes it more difficult for them to do so. And You know, people risk their lives just to have a better life somewhere else. You know, it's like between Spain and Morocco, people die in the water on the way in the Mediterranean Sea, just trying to get to Europe just to have a better life. And yeah, so I think we should loosen up the border, or open up the border.
Well, if the world's wealth was better distributed, people might not have to risk their lives to go from one country to another, and we'd all have the same banquet, as our friend said earlier on. Thawab, thank you very much for your call.
I called specifically to reference something in the beginning of the show, but I don't know if you guys talked about it already. But the Polish guy complaining about the Romanian coming in, and I just thought it was ironic because, you know, the Polish man is the immigrant as well. So it's just...
Well, I'm glad you've picked up on the irony there.
So, you know, it's just sad that we have that rather than fighting the power structure that keeps people having to work long hours and makes things difficult for immigrants. You know, you have immigrants fighting each other when they should be coming together, I think.
Well said.
Okay.
I'll be here from you again. Thanks for your call, Thawab.
Yeah, bye-bye.
A friend to the show. And, yeah, borders, keep them open. Let's go back to the clips. We've got a few more to go.
My injustice that I have to talk about is not seeing you since my birthday.
I was involved in injustice. I was involved in a hit-and-run accident at midnight on Tesco roundabout. But in my rearview mirror, I saw the lady getting up, so I'm sure she is fine.
Julian's on the line from Reading. Julian, go ahead. No, I'm sure that you did well, Julian. You're a very eloquent man. But you're right, George. And you summed it up in one sentence. Palestine is still the issue. And another sentence which sums it up is the slogan of the anti-war movement, of which I was one of the leaders. No justice, no peace. If there's no justice for the Palestinian people, there can be no peace in Palestine. If there's no peace in Palestine, there's no peace in the Middle East. And if there's no peace...
George Galloway there. That was myself following up the show I did on Palestine here, actually, speaking to George, and he said it: no justice, no peace.
Can't put it simpler
than
that, can
simple as that. And on the Palestine issue, as we brought it up, the next clip is actually the late great Tony Benn, when he spoke out against an injustice, when he went ahead and read out the Disasters Committee phone number on the BBC to help the people in Gaza, when the BBC had said they weren't going to do it because it's not impartial or whatever, and he bent the rules to do the right thing. So we'll have a listen to that and a few more clips, and then we'll wrap it up.
You won't broadcast the appeal. I'm going to do it myself. Anyone who wants to contribute,
yes,
I'm going to do that. And I'm sorry, you're not going to stop me. You're not going to stop me. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. The Disaster Emergency Committee Gaza Crisis is available at P.O. Box 999, London, EC3A 3AA. And I know from the BBC, because I've been here most of the morning, nobody here agrees with what the BBC have done.
Good old Tony Benn, rest in peace, a true hero, and we could have done a whole show devoted to him. Perhaps we will in the future. He was a man who stood up for justice.
Well, he had
always.
principles, didn't he?
Yeah, and I remember
principles, definitely.
I remember helping him through the crowd at a rally for Palestine, and for him to go and speak, aged 90 or late 80s, and he was still, still going strong, and he showed up with his rucksack, and he was a true man of the people. Rest in peace, Tony Benn. More clips, Yasser. Here we go.
Justice needs to be delivered, and I'm confident it will be done. Justice will be done.
Hello.
That's our friend George Bush, and his friend is going to be next, I think. Let's listen.
Yes, Tony Blair here. The biggest injustice that I can think of is probably when I was accused of war crimes in Iraq. I mean, I think it's perfectly reasonable for someone like me to invade a country illegally and kill thousands of innocent civilians. After all, it was all in the name of oil. I mean, what do people think their cars run on? Petrol, isn't it? Of course. Well, this isn't 30 seconds, but I never did play by the rules, did I?
That's Tony Blair there, breaking the rules as usual. Nice of him to get in touch. Yeah, big injustice, the Iraq War. I'm wearing my Iraq jacket tonight for that very reason. A big injustice in our time. A war based on a pack of lies. Is there anything to add to that, Soggy, or is that as simple as it gets?
It's the most simple as it gets.
Injustice. All right. Back we go.
Last few, wrap
it up.
Well, I went to the supermarket and they had an offer, and it said that beetroots were half price. I went there with my kids, and we were all excited to get these beetroots. But when I got there, they said there were no beetroots left. That to me just doesn't seem fair. Why would you possibly advertise it and then not have it? Not happy at all. I won't be shopping at this supermarket again. I think we face enough injustices in the world, and this is just one of them.
Look, you can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious!
We all know that justice is a universal quality, so it is not limited to a certain group of people. And the whole purpose of justice is to cause unity among men. So really what I am thinking about is the relationship between tolerance and justice. Because it seems to me that people very often feel that unjust things happen to them and demand justice for themselves, so they will not tolerate the unjust act that has happened to them. But often while we do care about others, we still tolerate the injustice that happens to them. And when we tolerate the sufferings of others, or any injustice in the world, especially when we aren't the victims in it, to me is not really tolerance, but firstly being plain selfish and also indifferent to the problem. But wouldn't this then mean that to tolerate, for example, a murderer would mean that by being negligent to the problem, you have firstly become his partner, but also accepted the unjust act that has happened? Because there is a difference between forgiveness and tolerance. It would be interesting to hear what other people think about this.
I personally think it's quite a tragedy that people who are put in prison don't get rehabilitation. Sometimes they've been through a hard life, and people just want to lock them up and throw away the key. Personally, I blame the government for that, and I think they should be more focused and try and help. As my gran used to say, if someone spills any food on the floor, pick it up.
There are so many young women in the U.S. that are trafficked every single day. It's estimated that the U.S. has, of all the industrialized countries, has one of the largest amount of immigrants that are trafficked. And we need to... No, I don't want this one. Maybe you have to delete it.
Jules, sorry about that one. She bailed last minute. Yeah. Use it if you want.
Please don't use it.
I don't know if that ending will make sense.
That was terrible.
This is an injustice that she agreed to do it, and then...
So racism in America is a major crisis and issue, and I want to talk about the racism that Asian Americans face. A lot of times people assume that Asian Americans in America are model minorities, they're good at math, they do well, they go to Harvard, but in fact if you look at it, the stratification of Asian American groups in America is the highest. The highest income earning group in America is Japanese, but the lowest earning group is our Hmong people, and both are Asian Americans. So what does that say?
I think there's a great injustice about people being sort of classified as terrorists just because they blow things up for their religious beliefs. Sometimes there are situations where things and people should get blown up. For example, if they don't like someone and they don't want them to live, then they blow them up. You know, maybe that's not a bad thing if it's good, if you know what I mean.
All right, there's your views. We had a mixed bag there. There was Seppi from Finland. We had
hi Seppi,
yeah.
if you're listening.
There's another voice that Soggy was
Seppi.
enjoying.
Call in.
Appreciate that. Maybe she can Skype in.
Let's Skype, call in.
Yeah. We had racism against Asians in America. We had women being trafficked. There's many injustices, and as I said earlier, if there's an injustice anywhere, there's an injustice everywhere. We're just highlighting the issue. We're putting it out there. It has been the anniversary last week, 25 years of the Hillsborough disaster. Justice for the 96 remains to be seen.
Soon come.
It will come. It's been 21 years since the murder of Stephen Lawrence.
Anniversary yesterday.
The struggle continues.
And hopefully he'll get his peace.
Yeah.
And his family will get the truth. And everyone will hear the truth, and the just shall succeed, inshallah, for Stephen Lawrence. Long time overdue. The brother needs, well, the brother's gone. The family needs closure. The truth needs to be told. The justice needs to outdo the unjust. So his time will come, and I'm sure it will do.
And rest in peace, Rubin Hurricane Carter, passed away April 20th. And he had a long struggle for justice, and he got his name cleared in the end, but after 2 decades of wrongful imprisonment.
Reminds me of that film, Life, Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. It's easy to pin it on the black man. That's my papa's watch. That's my daddy's watch. I think there's something of those lines. I think it's getting late. I think I keep referring to a watch, clocking the time. It's coming to the midnight. I was waiting, going to give it 2 minutes for the midnight caller.
Midnight caller, if you're listening, you've missed us again, but we know you're out there. You know who you are.
Somewhere. This has been the Late Show on 95.6 FM. We will be with you next week from 9:30 onwards. The subject will be highlighted. Please support us on Facebook. Like the page. / was it Facebook, Twitter, Skype, 95.6 FM. We got a text coming, lastminute.com. Julian's going to read it out.
Last minute text. The human. Here we go. The human being's inability to fully incorporate other animals and nature in its circle or compassion is my idea of a fundamental injustice. Humans are the only beings that inhabit this planet, and some missing text. This is unfair. We haven't got the rest of that text, caller. It's coming through. Yeah. But to be continued on that one. I think that might be vegan.
Before we depart, we are your voice. We are known as the people's voice. We are here in the studio of Wanuma. We thank Wanuma for allowing us to do our show every Wednesday night. If anybody out there listening wants to come in, wants to highlight a project or anything that you think is a benefit to the community or the people out there listening, we would love to have you. So do give us an email or drop us a line. I'm sure Yasser will entertain you. There's a couple of emails going out to a few people. We're waiting on emails back, so we can announce shows in the future. There are a few good ones, inshallah, if confirmed. We're waiting on a few people to get back to us. So stay tuned, inshallah, for the next show. We'll highlight it. But the few messages before I go is the community project presents in association with Pakistani Community Centre with the Late Show with Express Gym and with Zach's Cafe on 27th April, which is a Sunday at 6 p.m. inshallah, at the Pakistani Community Centre by the heading of Message of the Messengers. Inshallah, speaker is Qari Abdullah Zaidi. I hope I pronounced that right. Speaker on the day on the subject of Message of the Messengers is Qari Abdullah Zaidi on the Sunday 27th of April. Inshallah, if you're doing nothing, make your way to the Pakistani Community Centre for 6 o'clock. It is a mixed event. It is totally free and there's finger food and refreshments available on the day. So please support that. That's Pakistani Community Centre, presented by Community Projects in association with The Late Show ourselves and Express Gym, Mr. Hassan Betty and Zach's Cafe, brothers there. Appreciate your support and love. And the other thing, I got a shout out for Barbara Ali, who apologises not to be on The Late Show. He is in the gym, believe it or not. I think he's trying to get himself flexy and whatever they call it. What's the word? Hench and doing the bench and the press and whatever you want to call it with these heavyweights like doing. We have the Strength Challenge 2014. I'm sure you've seen the poster everywhere. If you haven't, give us a shout. We'll come in and put the poster in your establishment.
The big three.
It is the big three. It's not me, you and Yasser, Julian. It is the big three under the heading of squat, bench press and deadlift. To all your meatheads, you'll understand what that is. The big three: squat, bench press and deadlift, which is to be held on the 1st of June from 2014 at the Pakistani Community Centre from 4 p.m. inshallah. The event requires a photographer or someone video making a video of it. If you're at uni doing media studies, it'll be absolutely awesome. If you can come in and do this, it'll be good for your CV, I'm sure. It's a couple of hours event where the big boys will come in to portray their stuff. I mean, it's all in good humour and banter. It's nothing too serious, I hope. I hope it don't get too serious. If it does, shout to me, I'll jump under the table first. So yeah, if you want to enter, it's £10 for over 18s and £5 for under 18s. So registration forms, and for further details, please contact who? B.A. aka Baba the Ali, on his number you can find where?
Time to go to Facebook page.
Well, if it's on Facebook page, look for Barbara Ali or the Strength Challenge 2014 under the heading of Community Projects. So if you go under the heading of Community Projects,
one more call.
You'll find Strength Challenge 2014 on June the 1st, inshallah. The phone keeps ringing and I keep dinging.
Unscreened entirely at random.
Are we going to go for it? I want to go home. Hope it's not UV again.
Hello.
Hello, caller, go ahead.
Hello, I just wanted to say, good radio station today.
Thank you very much, sister. Who's calling?
I really liked the topic you talked about today, and I'll be tuning every day.
Lovely to hear from you. Every Wednesday from 9:30 or probably 10 o'clock with a late show. We'd love to have you tuned in. Spread the word. Tell your friends and family.
All right. Bye.
Thank you very much.
You.
That's nice.
Oh, what a nice way to end.
That was a lovely way to end the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Someone's up at 12 o'clock listening.
Someone's up late tonight.
Wow.
That's lovely.
So yeah, again, thank you. You have been listening to the Late Show 95.6 FM. Inshallah, if all's well, we will be back next week.
We'll do all again next week.
Me, Julian and Yasa. Inshallah, may probably have a guest, depending on how we go about.
One final word, Sogi.
Yes.
From me.
Yes.
Boxing for Syria. Like us on Facebook and support via the GoFundMe page. Boxing for Syria. The link is on the Late Show's page, and we need to help make that happen.
Please support the Late Show team on the Facebook by liking the page. We always advertise and keep things up to date on there, inshallah, on a daily basis. So please like, support, forward on to your friends, family. And if you like I keep saying, want to come into the studio or want to Skype in or call in, we look forward to hearing from you. This has been the Late Show 95.6 FM. Thank you for your time, Jazakallah. Allah Hafiz, Rahmatullahi wa Barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum.
In 2011, a couple of mercenaries escaped the back streets of Junction, still wanted by the masses. If you can find them, maybe you can call the late team, the Voices of Reading.